My name is Kathleen Flannery. I have the pleasure and the honor of serving as the Vice President for University Advancement, as well as the President of the PSU Foundation. And we're so excited that you've joined us to celebrate 50 years of the Wilkinson Alumni Center family. So appreciate you joining us. If you haven't seen it, there's a wonderful slideshow that portrays all of the events, or some of the events I should say, but all of the range of events that we've hosted in this facility, as well as a lot of our alumni groups. If you haven't seen it, make sure that you stick around and see it afterward. We'll keep it going when we have the refreshments as well. So 50 years ago, the Wilkinson Alumni Center was envisioned as a place to celebrate our past and invest in our future. Today, we honor not just a building, but the people and the memories that have filled it. This space has been the heart of Pittsburgh State University's alumni spirit, a place where memories have been made and lifelong bonds have been formed, as we can see today. As you'll hear and see in our program, Cecil and Eva C. Wilkinson, whose portraits remain in our lobby and are seen here as well, they made a gift to construct this building and gave a generous gift to establish an endowment to maintain its beauty and allow it to grow to meet the needs of our alumni and friends. The endowment has endowed us to add a much-needed elevator, modernize and undertake renovations. As you can see, there are changes from the slideshow to today, and many of the folks in this room have had a hand in that. The Wilkinson Alumni Center was one of the first alumni-funded buildings on campus, reflecting the strong tradition of giving back that defines Guerrilla Nation and giving that continues today. We wouldn't have many of the beautiful facilities we have today without private philanthropy, and that started here. We've lost many supporters since the vision for this building, but we were able to live their legacy. There are some very familiar community names who were part of the building committee and alumni association at that time. You'll all recall Jack Overman, Joe Hart, A.J. Wachter, Kathy Aubuchon, George Nettles, Augie Rua, Gene Bicknell, John Clark, Helen Kriegsman, and John Chrysler, just to name a few. So many amazing people in this audience have made living their legacy a reality, so thank you. Upon receiving the invitation for today's festivities, we received this email from Emeritus Foundation trustee member Steve Sloan and his wife Becky, who is George Nettles' daughter. Regrettably, Becky and I will not be able to attend the Wilkinson Alumni Center 50th anniversary celebration as we will be out of town, but we certainly would have been there. The gift for this fabulous building has stood the test of time and is a model with the university for the maintenance endowment component. Many thanks for everyone's support of PSU. We, along with many of you, are most grateful for this generosity. Our best to all, Becky and Steve. And the 9th University President, Dr. Steve Scott, was not able to be with us as well today. He sends his regrets and gratitude. And he said, "This building has served Pitt State wonderfully over the years, and with the endowment, its future is very bright." We would certainly agree with that. So sentiments of everyone seem to be the same as I've visited with folks and asked them if they were going to join us. It's all about gratitude, legacy, tradition, and building on those who came before us. So I would ask Chairman of the PSU Foundation, Gary Treadway, to please come forward to the podium. Gary?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of the Pittsburgh State University Foundation, I want to thank the entire Wilkinson family, both past and present, for being with us today. We are mindful that we are stewards of this amazing facility, and I promise you that we are trying to take the best of care that this foundation and this building will go on for a long period of time. We know this is a critical asset for not only the alumni, but friends of Pittsburgh State University. Personally, I knew Wendell when he was a student here. We roamed this campus together, and I've known Linda with her time on the foundation board as well. And so on behalf of the foundation, welcome, glad you're here today. This is a glorious celebration.
Thank you, Gary. There are lots of amazing staff members who have lived in this building, and they're in attendance today. Please wave if you have had an office that occupies this facility. There are lots of you out here, absolutely. We thank you all for your service, especially to our alumni base. We have had 5 directors of the Alumni Association in 50 years, and they are all in attendance today. Let's hear from the first director, Dr. Kenneth K. Bateman. Ken?
The gift to build and furnish the Alumni Center was originally made as an anonymous gift. So during the time that we were building it, really the only people that knew who the donors were the people that were serving on the committee. I was so pleased that Cecil and Eva C. Wilkinson agreed to let us put this name on the building after it was built. It gave an opportunity for hundreds, if not thousands, of alumni to express their appreciation to them for this wonderful gift. They took a special interest in the building, and one of the things that they were particularly interested in was the President's Room, which is just, if you go through the boardroom and then on into the President's Room. And I walked in there for just a few minutes this afternoon. It's so interesting because, in fact, as I spent some time with them, and they selected some of the furniture that's still in that room today, 50 years later. The institution changed its name shortly after this building was built. James Appleberry became the new president, and the name changed from Kansas State College of Pittsburgh to Pittsburgh State University. And I think this building served a really important function in terms of that transition, because I really think it was the nicest building that we had on campus at the time we changed the name, and it made this seem like it belonged at a university, and it made it a little easier to say university rather than college. I did step back in that room today too, and I just realized how fortunate I was, because they had a picture of the groundbreaking, and I think the only thing on it that was wrong, it was 1974, the groundbreaking. I don't think that we broke ground and moved in at the same year. But I realized how fortunate I was too, because we, and of course it kind of spoke to the times that we lived in then. There were 9 men in the picture at the groundbreaking, and I'm the only one still alive today. I think this building has really helped the development of the university, because the alumni that are here, and they see the generous gift that the Wilkinsons made, and they also think maybe of another area at the university that they want to support. And so I think a lot of the projects that we have on campus are a result of having this building here. I think it helps in terms of the students while they're still on campus, because I know they've always had, through the university and alumni associations, students in this building, in the facility. And I think they realize that after they leave, there's still going to be a special place on campus that they can come back to, and it's a place that's really theirs. This facility has enabled, when we first opened, to recruit really quality volunteers. And just a couple of examples, not long after we moved in, Rex Crowley, who was a prominent banker, came out and volunteered and worked almost a decade and helped develop what was then the Alumni Foundation before it merged and we had the University Foundation. And his work was really critical so that we could hire the first Vice President of Advancement, Grady Smoot. Another volunteer that was the same way was Dr. Ralph Thomas. It's interesting, he was kind of in charge of business here at the university. He retired on a Friday, and the next Monday, he was working here at the Alumni Center. He worked here for 20 years, and that 20 years, he never took a vacation. So he really loved Pittsburgh State University alumni. And if I told the truth, I'd have to say that I think he, knew more alumni and kept a closer track of them than I did as the director. So he did a wonderful job with us. The alumni and friends that are gathered here today, I think, represent hundreds and thousands of volunteers. And they're what really make Pittsburgh, one of the things that really helps make Pittsburgh State University great. And it's, in terms of the United States, I think in terms of regional university, Pittsburgh State University is certainly one of the finest in the nation. I do want to just acknowledge, because we do have all of the alumni directors that have served since I was here, and I'd like to introduce them to you. And this is kind of the order in which they serve. Mindy Collinger, Mindy Wave. That wasn't high enough, Mindy. Jonna Norton. Jonna, are you where people can see you? Johnny, step out here, Jonna. Dr. John Bartlow. And currently, Danielle Driscoll is the director. One of the things that they've all done is they've all done an excellent job, and you can check with Wendell, but I think that probably the Alumni Center today is more beautiful than it was when we dedicated it in 1975. And that's a really tribute to the Wilkinson family, because they also furnished funds to continue to keep this up. So if we need a new roof, if they need an elevator put in, whatever they want to do, they have the money and funds to do this. And Wendell and Linda, and I mentioned that to Linda coming in, because they had a slide of you on vacation and the whole family. And there was such a nice comment, because your family, it isn't just transitional wealth of a family, but it's generational philanthropy. And I think that you embody that so well. God bless you all.
Thank you, Ken, for your service, your long-standing dedication to our alumni base, even well after you've been retired, so we count on you for so many things. We appreciate your remarks and sharing your perspective with us, because a lot of us were not here yet, and so we appreciate those comments. Ken mentioned the groundbreaking. Well, there were 9 men. Now, you realized that there were 9 men for a reason, and you're the one standing. Well, I realized it because there were no women in there. So we hope to change that for whatever groundbreaking we do next. But thank you very much. And he also called out the other directors in the House, Mindy, Jonna, and John. We appreciate your service, your leadership, and your dedication to our alumni base as well. And so thank you for all of that. And now let's hear from our current director, Danielle Driscoll.
Hello, everybody. 50 years ago, the Wilkinson Alumni Center opened its door as a gathering place for generations of Pittsburgh State University graduates and supporters. Since that day, the Wilkinson Alumni Center has stood as far more than a building. It has served as a home, the place where friendships are rekindled, milestones and awards are celebrated, guerrilla pride is showcased, and lifelong ties to Pitt State are strengthened. As a proud alumna of Pitt State, I know firsthand what it feels like to walk through those doors every day and know I am right where I belong. When I returned to campus almost 8 years ago as a professional, I never could have imagined the pride I possess for my alma mater would grow even more. Working with our alumni and friends has taught me the true meaning of once a gorilla, always a gorilla. Though this phrase was not something referenced in the 1970s, Cecil and Eva exemplified their belief in the phrase through their support of the Wilkinson Alumni Center. For that, I am grateful. Grateful for this beautiful building, their support, and now their family's support. This is a special place, and I'm honored to play a small part in continuing the Wilkinson family legacy, following in the footsteps of Ken Bateman, Mindy Cloninger, Jonna Norton, and John Bartlett. Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle. As Ken mentioned, this facility is as beautiful or even more beautiful in some ways than it was when we started. And I think, Ken, you would also agree that you paved the way as being the director, the first director. However, we have maintained that excellence in service and leadership throughout, all the way through Mindy and John and Jonna to Danielle. So thank you all for your service on behalf of our alumni constituents. I have known Linda and Wendell since I first moved here in 1996. I know, I had to say the date, sorry. It's been my pleasure to get to know them and their family better since that time and to work on many projects to better our community since that day. Both Linda and Wendell have served as chairs of our PSU Foundation Board of Trustees, and we're certainly grateful for your service in that regard as well. In addition to the generosity to construct and care for this building, Eva and Cecil created scholarships to support our students throughout the decades. The Wilkinson family has continued to support that legacy started by them through generational giving, as Ken mentioned, in support of the university. They have numerous scholarships in honor of their family, and a few of the grateful recipients are shown in the slideshow in the boardroom. In addition to their generosity of time, talent, and treasure, they also understand tradition and legacy and are extremely thoughtful. To give you one very sweet example, and I hope I can make it through this because I'm touched by this, Linda shared this story with me recently. As a nod to Eva and her great fashion sense, because she was always dressed immaculately, Linda and her daughters-in-law, Becca, who is on our advancement team in the alumni office as well, and our newest addition, Britton, to the family. Her daughters-in-law are wearing Eva's bee pins today. That has become a tradition in their family. When Wendell and Linda got married, the bees were attached to Linda's flower bouquet, and this tradition was repeated with Becca and Britton. Eva is wearing one in her portrait in our lobby, and make sure you check that out. But that, to me, is a great example of what this family is all about, tradition, honoring the past and building for the legacy for the future. So thank you all for your whole family, really appreciate that. Now I would ask Wendell Wilkinson, nephew of Cecil and Eva, to come forward to represent their family. Wendell?
Well, hopefully I can hold it together, but they asked me if I wanted to say something briefly, and I said sure. Welcome, and thank you for coming, good enough. But anyway, a little beyond that. In the world of charitable giving, there's unique stories that make you smile. The story of my aunt and uncle is one of the admiration. I'll do it. No, maybe I won't. Extraordinary act of generosity. I think it's interesting that Ron Holmes is here today from Columbus. He was the first recipient of one of their scholarships. Ron, you might just raise your hand. And they love basketball. They went to basketball games, all of them, here. I don't know if they went to the away games or not, but their first recipient of a basketball scholarship was the tall guy standing back there in the back, and Brian Jones. Cecil and Eva never walked the hallowed halls of PSU as students, nor did they experience the joys of raising children, except I was part of their little family, and so from the time I was a little kid until I came to college, they went through the trials and tribulations of me. And I know I learned a lot from my uncle and aunt, but it took a while for it to sink into me. And maybe as much as 20 years later, I finally realized those weren't silly things that they told me. Those were great educational things. But they believed in they had a strong belief in the importance of education and helping others achieve their dreams. Cecil and Eva were quiet about their business affairs. We had an inkling that something was going on, and I don't know, but people like Jack Overman was involved, Ken probably was also. but they kept it very quiet. My dad would be snoopy and trying to find out what's going on, what are they doing, blah, blah, blah. But they kept it a great secret, as Ken said. And Ken was the cog of the wheel of this whole thing. That he's been here, he started, he helped it grow, make it to what it is today. He needs a round of applause just for that. The one funny thing about the whole thing is that, I don't know who brought this up, it said when they were trying to decide what they were going to do, build a building, do whatever. And they said, somebody suggested, well, why don't, we need parking. Maybe you could buy a parking lot, or buy space for a parking lot. And my uncle would said, we're not giving money for a damn parking lot. But it was kind of a family thing we've talked about for a long time. So anyway, no parking lot, they got the building, and that's what counts. I believe this Alumni Center reflects their belief in the power of education, the importance of community, and link to the other side of campus life. Despite not having the opportunity to pursue higher education themselves, they recognize the life-changing potential it held for others. Today, we celebrate the deepest gratitude, our gratitude to them for this incredible gift. There's one important thing. Let it remind us that the value of giving is not measured by personal gain, but by the profound impact it can have on society and our community. Their legacy will be forever intertwined with the send-off of celebrations, graduating seniors, reunions, campus enrichment activities, and community events. I even noticed today in the paper that somebody's obituary, their family's having a celebration of life here, I think tomorrow or something like that. So this building has been used for things that they never thought would be an event. It's just amazing. So on behalf of the Wilkinson family, we hope that this place, this center, continues to link all of us and keeps us connected to PSU. And thank you for all of you coming. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Wendell. And thank you, Linda, and your beautiful family. We've already introduced Britton and Becca, but we haven't mentioned Cody and Kyle, who are here in the audience as well. So welcome, gentlemen. We appreciate your support of the university as well. I believe there are some future gorillas in your grands as well. So we're going to look forward to the future to join in our alumni base. As we look back, we also look forward with gratitude, pride, and excitement for the next 50 years. You should see new signage in the next few months to make sure that our alumni know we are here and ready to serve them. And here are some renderings of what those signs will look like. And of course, they honor Cecil and Eva at the Wilkinson Alumni Center. So our lights will shine brightly and let all who enter be served. So a special thank you to so many, all of the alumni who have enjoyed this beautiful space, all of the staff, both past, present, who have served PSU, and especially for today's event, Jodeci Turner, Danielle Driscoll, Beth Ann Elliott, Madeline Wall, Becca Wilkinson, Megan Swafford, Hope Rainey, and our student advancement ambassadors, as well as the rest of our amazing team, including Becky McDaniel. Thank you for being part of this milestone that we celebrate today. Please join us for refreshments, watch the slideshow, mingle with friends, take a photo under the beautiful balloon arch in the president's room, sign the guest book, and take a memento home with you as you leave. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I get the great honor of saying, once a gorilla, always a gorilla. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and thank you for joining us.